This is beautiful. This is something to wake up for. This is something to be here for. And this is something we've been waiting for such a long time to see a bubbles like this. On the week, Bang go up 90%, Alt up 60%. We've got the baseline is 20-25%. And I'm happy to see this. But the thing is, even though we have these gains, Bitcoin is still leading the way. Bitcoin is still outperforming most of the altcoins. And I do think that this time, for real, I'm not saying there's an alt season, we're going to talk about that, but there is a chance that this is your last opportunity to get into the altcoins that will start outperforming Bitcoin. So I know it's tempting to jump into Bitcoin now, but I do think you're a little bit late. I do think you have to diversify and you start jumping into altcoins. And we're going to look at what altcoins, I'm going to look at your altcoins, what you want to get in. I'm going to analyze the chart. I'm going to look at different levels. But also, as always, I'm going to bring you the news that you need to know. The whole idea behind this show is that not only I bring you trades and not only I bring you all the alpha from the past 24 hours and for the next 24 hours, but also I give you everything you need to know in a 24-hour lifespan within crypto. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Fefe. Bring you charts like this, trades like this, and amazing, incredible shows like this. Looking at Bitcoin, if not for me, then for Bitcoin, smash the like, obliterate the subscribe button if this is your first time here. Let's get going. So first off, and most importantly, happy all-time high. And I'm in several groups, and it's literally every morning now. It feels like 2021 vibes, where you woke up in the morning and it's all-time high, and you woke up in the morning and it's all-time high, and it's all-time high, and it's all-time high. And to a point where it's like, cool, it's all-time high for Bitcoin, but I mean, there is something to do here with all the altcoins. And so I do think this chart looks absolutely phenomenal, looking at Bitcoin running from 107, 105 to all the way 120. What was the top here, 124? The high was 123,250. Absolutely incredible. So this is beautiful. But the reality is that we have to look at altcoins as well. So we're going to do that. But first, I wanted to tell you, Bitcoin just had its highest close. The inflow for the Bitcoin ETFs are at 1 billion. We're talking 1 billion with a B, 1,000 million. For the 11th, and throughout the weekend I got a notification like this, and I tweeted about it, and I said, if you told me a year ago that I'm gonna get a notification from an exchange that says that Bitcoin dropped below 119,000, I wouldn't have said that you were crazy, but you would have called me crazy, because it was absolutely unbelievable back then to see that. But now, this is the notifications we're getting. We're getting notifications of Bitcoin dropping to 120. And I'm telling you what, if anybody is a bear, they're going to call for Bitcoin is going to drop to 110,000. And then, when we go to 200,000, Bitcoin is going to drop to 150. And it's a continuous cycle. Now, I want you all to be ready, because I know it's coming. I already see it's coming. Oh, did you buy Bitcoin below 100,000? How lucky you are. I'm telling you, this is going to be the time when we're all going to be called lucky. Because in reality, what is interesting is that I do believe, now looking at everything that's happening, that this is the disbelief stage. This is the disbelief stage. And you probably have seen the Wall Street cheat sheet and all that stuff that is going around. And we've been trying to time when is what and when how. But looking at everything that's happening now, this market rally is not driven by retail. This market rally is the disbelief stage. And I have a Telegram which is completely free. I drop my alpha, I drop my thoughts. There's a link in the description because it's also going to pin it on the top here if you want to join. But in this Telegram, I left a message and I said a voice note the other day. And then I said, if you want, like I feel I want to sell my coins now. Like I want to close my positions, and I'm doing pretty fine. Doing pretty decently on these positions. Like I've got 1,200 on Bitcoin, 1,500 here, 50% on TON, almost 80% on my ETH long at 3x leverage. So I'm doing fine, and I have this feeling that I want to close my positions. But this is exactly what you should not do. This is exactly what you should not do. I do believe that this is just the beginning of the rally. And again, altcoins did not even pick up. Even though we have 20%, 30%, 40%, it's nothing close to what we are about to see. Now, none of the major, I see a lot of people fighting on Twitter and saying, oh my God, this was the top. Now you should close. Now you should sell. This is the 120,000 is the top for Bitcoin. And this we're going back to 30,000. But all the nonsense, close everything out and focus on the important stuff. One, none of the indicators that cycle tops have or signal cycle tops have hit yet. Retail is not here yet. Bitcoin searches are just picking up. Bitcoin and crypto searches on Google are literally just started to pick up. That means that everything that you see now is not retail driven. It's not your grandma, your neighbor, your cat owners club member joins and buys Bitcoin and drives the price up. It's mostly Wall Street. And if you understand it and you understand that mania is going to come, then altcoins have to run at some point. Now, I've been I've been very vocal about my stand that there is no altcoin rally coming. There is sorry. I'll rephrase that. There is no alt season coming. And I do believe that. There is no alt season coming. Because alt season, for me, being here since 2016, means that I'm going to see every single token run 30% a day, 40% a day for 2 weeks straight, 3 weeks straight. That's not going to happen. Even if you look now, even if you look at Bente Bubbles, you do have the top performers. But if you look at like the top 300 to 400, let me just look here. I will not be able to represent it here, but it's not everything. So for example, you see these smaller coins as well. Like if in 2017 you bought anything, their tokens down 15, 20%. That's not what an alt season looks like. Alt season looks when in 2017, where the term comes from alt season, is when we had 1,700, 2,000 tokens or 2,000 tokens and everything run at the same time. That's not going to happen. You will have to allocate yourself. But I do believe that this is an incredible opportunity for you to start getting into altcoins because selected altcoins are going to run. And they are going to run hard. It's important to note that also not only on Bitcoin, but also in crypto in general, the supply is limited. So the reason why we see this massive rally in Bitcoin as well, just some interesting stats here, that there was about 19.3 thousand Bitcoin accumulated past month, but the issuance has been only 13,000 Bitcoin. So that means that there is about a 50% more Bitcoin being taken off the market than is being produced or injected into circulation through mining, which is just a very staggering stat because you know that the supply and demand that we've all been talking about and waiting and understand and whatnot is kicking in. And so anyway, that said, there are two ways of playing this, okay? One of them is smashing the like button. That's all you guys can do. If you like this show, if you're here for, fun and the alpha and you're getting it, please smash the like button. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Fefe. I'm bringing you best alpha every single day, 24 hours. Just have to watch the show and continue watching that. You can subscribe to the channel or just follow me on X. But let me continue here. There are two ways of playing this. One is you can be the guy who holds, who outperforms, who plays it very diligently and gets out of the top, which I believe is going to be between September and December. Then we're going to just have a cool-off period for next May. And then we're going to have another final rally. Not final, but like a massive rally that will end this cycle. And then we're waiting for the next 4-year cycle. But in general, that is. Interesting fact, Satoshi is going to be more richer than Warren Buffett, 9th richest person on the planet if Bitcoin or when Bitcoin hits 130,000. But the second option is that you are going to be this guy. And so James Wynn, the guy who's been going on hyper liquid, massive millions of positions, getting liquidated for hundreds of millions of dollars. No X account anymore. He's gone. He's been literally going short yesterday before the massive push to 124,000. And the reason why I bring him here is not to make fun of him, but because I know there will be so many of you that will not play this right. There were $1.3 billion worth of short positions that got liquidated in 60 seconds. I'm going to say this again. 1.3 billion in shorts were liquidated in less than 60 seconds. Why? Because a lot of people had their stop losses at 120,000 and they've been saying, okay, it's 120,000. Bitcoin is not smashing through 120,000 right here. They had their stop losses here. And Bitcoin didn't skip a beat. Like if you go down to the 5-minute chart, Bitcoin smashed straight through. This is the liquidations. This is the liquidations that you see right here. If you go down to the 3-minute chart, if you go down to the 1-minute chart, look at this. Like Bitcoin literally obliterated this level here. Where is this? Here, look at this. There are a lot of stop losses at 120, and it's a 1-minute candle that you're looking at here. 1-minute candle all the way up to 121,500. We're gonna see so many of this. Now, the decision is yours. What I tweeted today, and I genuinely firmly believe, if you have positioned yourself, if you've been coming to the shows, if you follow me on X, if you join the Telegram community, the only way to screw this up is if you sell too early. Because, and as I said, I left it in the Telegram, I left this message and I said, the problem is that I'm feeling this urge to close my positions because this is what we've been accustomed to do for the past 6 to 8 months. We had to trade. This was traders' paradise and holders' hell. But tides are changing, and the sooner you realize that this is truly the disbelief stage, and the sooner you realize that your altcoins can make a 5 to 10x and outperform Bitcoin, the sooner you are going to perform better. This is what I personally believe in. Okay, so do not be the fool. Make sure that you are positioned. Now, I want to tell you one thing or another thing which people really screw up at these levels, and that is that one, they get greedy, but also they get scammed the heck out. So again, so many hacks happening, so many scams happening, so many, like literally yesterday in a group I'm with other influencers, there was a guy, I don't want to say his name because I don't know if it's public information, but he's a big figure. He got scammed for $800,000 with a Zoom call. They called him, they did an interview with him, then they sent the screen share request with him Zoom, and he got scammed for $800,000. He got his wallet withdrawn as he clicked on the link within the Zoom. After a 40 minutes interview, they simply drain his wallet. So it's very important that you start preparing and doing due diligence. And one of the things you can do, obviously, get a VPN. The second is to actually make sure that you don't get scammed. I don't think the problem anymore is really hacking. The problem is scamming, where you don't even know that you're being phished and you don't even know that you're being scammed. One of the places where these guys get their information from is data leaks. So there are a bunch of data leaks that are happening that leak your data onto the dark web, and these informations are going to be available not only on the dark web, but different aggregators of data. Now, NordVPN is a longtime partner in the channel, built something called 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. They're absolutely incredible. One of the best services. They're partners on here as well. But what they do is that for a tiny amount, I think it's like $5 or $10 a month or something like that, they work with the biggest names as well. They basically, you grant them permission and they remove you from all the different data aggregators that keeps your leaked information. These guys have your email, your login credentials to different websites, your health information, your address, your ID numbers, your passport, whatever that might be coming from these leaks. 230 different data sets they have that they go out and reach out and then remove you from there, so you don't get spammed, you don't get scammed, you don't get spam emails and whatnot. So go and check them out. There's a link in the description. I use it and I genuinely think this is one of the coolest stuff that you can do to protect yourself. And please always make sure that you don't get scammed. No one will actually DM you. If you look here, this is something that I show in school as well. If you look here, if you search my name, and you search for the person here, you will just go down here and 𝗙𝗙 and you go down. All these are fake. Every single one of them are fake. These are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fake profiles, and the only reason why they are there is to try to scam you. But I can show you the same with Ran. And the reason why I'm saying this and I'm being very rigid on this is because a lot of people don't take this seriously and they get scammed and hacked. Look at this, hundreds of Rens literally just being here just to scam you out of money. So please do that. Check out 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, remove yourself from all this craziness, and also make sure that you protect your capital. But we have a week. Massive week is happening. MicroStrategy up $550. Yes. There is Ren. Ren is on holiday. Ren is chilling. I'm gonna be spending the time with you here throughout this week, so it's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna bring you a bunch of alpha. Let's go back here. So this week, massive week. We do have markets react to EU-Mexico tariff news. No one really cares, to be honest. US Open will be interesting, but there is a 30% tariff going to EU and Mexico if they don't fulfill the tariff criteria by August 1st. Again, not really, doesn't really mean anything because we knew this was going to come. Again, Trump is just throwing dirt. Can this backfire in August? Yes, we'll see. But for now, nothing to worry about. June CPI inflation. This is something that I want to talk about. There's 12 Fed members speaking this week with a June retail sales data and PPI and CPI. Why is this relevant? It's relevant because of a few things. One, CPI is going to be the biggest relevant this week. So as you see, everything is aligning, and I'm gonna jump. Prepare your altcoins, please. Drop them in the chat here. We are going to. I'm going to run. Let me speak. Run. I'm going to run through them in a bit, but I want you to understand the whole landscape. And it's Monday, and it's important for you to just understand why and what is happening and where my mind is at. So, why can this rally really start going? And we're going into a parabolic run. One of the key carriers is the reduction on interest rates, right? So if you look at CPI coming here, where is it here? CPI coming on Tuesday and PPI coming on Wednesday. Now CPI is projected to be 0.3% and it was 0.1% on the previous, right? So core CPI, PPI month to month is 1 and 0.3, and the CPI year to year is 2.4 to 2.6. If the core CPI month to month comes in at or below expectations, we're gonna cover this tomorrow on the show. If it comes in at or below expectations, we are going to see a massive continuation on this rally, because this is literally the only thing Powell is hanging on to for not cutting rates, which is he's saying that the uncertainty from tariffs is causing inflation to rise. And so if there is no rise in inflation continuously for months and months and months, he literally have no other reason for not to cut interest rates. And I also do believe that if there is actually a study, I tweeted about this, we're going to include this, cause can you just link this? I'm gonna send this to you now. Can you just link this in the live chat, because I think it's worth reading through here. Let me just go here. We will pin it here in the live chat so you can look at this study. But the study basically shows that between December 2024 and May 2025, prices of imported goods into the United States have gone below or down on price almost 1%, and others stay flat. That just shows that if inflation tomorrow comes in at or below expectations, this signals that there is no reason for Powell not to cut. So right now, there's a 93% chance of no cut in July 30, which is like 15 days, 16 days from now, the FOMC happening. But if inflation is good, guys, I think this will drop down to like 60, 50, whatever that is, and we're going to Valhalla. That's genuinely what I think. But if you want to see more, check out this pinned post here, because you can see the graph there. It's pretty cool. Okay, let's go back here. Another big happening this week is the crypto week. So the White House allocated this week between 14th of July and 18th of July as the crypto week, okay? The reason why they did that is because we've got the Clarity Act discussion, we've got the Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act, and the Genius Act coming to going to the House. So if the House approves that vote, they will vote this week. Hopefully, they will vote. Votes are scheduled. So if they agree on the outcome of the bill and what it should include, they will vote. And that if the vote passes, pushes it through, it goes straight to the president, and it's gonna be super important. Clarity Act, clarity on cryptocurrency regulation, right? So what does a clarity mean? Clarity Act means a bipartisan bill aimed at creating a regulatory framework for digital assets. How can a token be issued? How can a token be purchased? How can a token be custodied? What exchanges can do what? How, like everything, DeFi, everything will be included in the Clarity Act. Super important that there is investment and there is a pass on this bill. Anti-CBDC, Trump was very clear on the fact that they don't want to allow CBDC, so I'm not that bothered by this. And the Genius Act bill established a federal framework for regulating stablecoins is also going to be big, but I think this is kind of like done. So I do believe that the Genius Act, although we have to look out for this week, it's basically done. Now, talking about altcoins and how can they outperform Bitcoin, right? I think it's very important to note that although everybody is happy and the market is looking fantastic, in reality, there's about 28 tokens and only about 14 of them in the top 50 that outperformed Bitcoin the past 90 days. So this feels very much like the 2021 run where Bitcoin has been running and that ripples down to alts. So we do have some of these tokens that you probably not even heard of, Syrup and then Form and Kaya, and you might not even heard about these coins. You of course heard about Fartcoin, definitely. You of course heard about Pepe and Floki and Arrow and ETH. You know that stablecoin ETH that's also here. But if you look at altcoin rally and the altcoin index, this basically shows you the top 50 coins and their performance relative to Bitcoin in the past 90 days. So if more than 50% of the altcoin, more than 75% of the top 50 coins outperformed Bitcoin the past 90 days, the altcoin index goes parabolic, and then it is basically alt season. Now currently we're sitting at 35. meaning 35% of the top 50 tokens outperformed Bitcoin in the past 90 days, which is still nothing. Now, let's not forget that the reason why we had alt season, so to say, as quote unquote alt season, is because money, the people who made money with Bitcoin rippled down into altcoins. And then Bitcoin slowed down and altcoins started to fly as the last 2-3 months of the market. And that gave a push for all the tokens. They added liquidity because people thought they can make the same gains with Bitcoin, and that added fuel to the fire. But I don't really think that's the same trajectory this time. Why? Because most of the money comes through the ETFs, comes through as in treasury companies. It's not really money that is going to ripple down into altcoins. So that's why you need to be very selective on what altcoins you invest in if you want to outperform Bitcoin in the next in July or in the next coming months. Now, there are some tokens that you can look at. Even if you look here, by the way, I think it's always good to bet on stuff that worked. So if you look at some, obviously Pango with all their investments, 400% the last 90 days, absolutely incredible. Mug, another, I do have my Mug glasses here. But you can look at Hype as a decentralized exchange, one of the most successful, the most successful one, virtual. AI plays coming up, but also you see a bunch of memes here heating up, which could be interesting. And also, I just brought this here. It's worth looking at utility tokens. You have Arrow. Coinbase will announce the next chapter of Base coming July 16th, so that can be something interesting for Base. Sonic is teasing an announcement coming on the 17th. Bitcoin, we talked about. Trump coin will be unlocked on July 18th. Now, this is something to look out for because probably is going to be 𝗕𝗏𝗙𝗪, but also you just want to look out for utility tokens. So this is what we're going to do. And I'm going to look at all the tokens that I believe has a chance to outperform Bitcoin. And I'm also going to ask you that we have another 10 minutes here, 15. I want you to drop your tokens in. And I see that a bunch of people are just joining in. I'm so happy to see you here. Subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, make some noise here in the chat. And if you're missing Ran and if you don't know who I am, well, I got good news for you. I'm the place to be. My name is Fefe. I bring you charts, I bring you trades like this. I also bring you fundamentals. And most importantly, I boil everything down for you. So this is the only show you need to watch in a 24-hour span, and you will get all the alpha you need. Now, that said, I think it's time for us to jump into it. We can look at first, let's start by looking at the portfolio that I have. So you know me, I'm trading everything, but I've been layering in here for a better half of the year, to be very honest with you. The months, sorry. So like the past 2-3 months, I've been very vocal. 2 months, I've been very vocal that I'm just layering in for the next leg up because this is the way money will be made, which is quite cool. I do have Bitcoin open as a position. The reason is because Bitcoin is the king. You know, I'm not closing this till like 130,000 for sure. 140,000, maybe 50,000. Ethereum gearing up here. I've got TON. I'm going to talk about why I hold TON. I've got Aptos. Aptos is absolutely incredible. Like their investment, the team, the relationships that they have, the tech that they have. So I'm holding Aptos as well. Hopefully to all-time highs, at least $20. Solana. Now there was a little bit of a FUD with the whole pump fund launch, which actually the distribution happens in a couple of hours. So that is something that to look out for. I do think Solana can take a little bit of a hit here. I'm not interested in taking profits because it's just short term. And a SUI layer 1, you need it fast, backed by very serious people. And then Jito is underperforming for me, which is sad because I took already $2,300 profit. It's still down 1,000 here, so I'm still up like $1,300. But in general, I just wanted to see Jito basically outperform Bitcoin and everything else because of the Solana ETFs taking. But I think people need time to realize it. I'm extremely bullish on Jito as well. Let me look at some of the tokens that I do believe is worth looking and probably you're holding as well and probably you want to talk about. So one of them is ETH. One of the important stuff is that you don't always get a retrace when stuff like this happens. If you look at this, I want to show you this. This is the total market cap, right? If you want to see this, the last time when we see this kind of rally happen, it looked like this. So you don't really, actually, and you know what? It actually looked like this the last time we see it, like something parabolic here. You don't really get pullbacks here, you see? So you don't really get these pullbacks. And if that's what we're looking at, because this is kind of what we're looking at, I do think you have to consider the possibility that there's just not going to be pullback on a higher time frame, meaning the daily and the hourly. And that gives you, first of all, a huge stop loss, right? So you have like a 15% stop loss here to start entering the trades. But also uncertainty, because 10% weeks will happen. So you will wake up in the morning and there'll be the market down 15%. And that is the buying opportunity you always need to grab onto. And this is why I'm saying layering in is is super important, using a grid bot or whatever that might be. And so if I look at Ethereum, I ultimately believe that the dislike here should hold. So if anything, if you do not have, ETH is going to skyrocket. There will be a lot of tokenization happening on ETH. Massive players are loading up on ETH. 30% of all ETH is actually logged already. So again, I do think the next stop for ETH is 4,000, and then I do believe that the rally starts then. So like the last time we broke, when you break all-time highs, I do think that is 7,000 for ETH. This cycle, I do think it's doable. So where do you get an entry? First of all, I recommend you start layering in. Not financial advice, but you start layering in here. If we are going to get a pullback, the pullback will come all the way down here, at least to 2,700. I know people don't believe it, and it's fine. But having a 10-12% VIC on the day, and it's gonna be very fast. It's gonna be like 1 or 2 days, and it's gonna be done. But I don't think it is happening now. Therefore, I think you should play each leg individually, and I would look at ETH. I would look at an ETH buy down here. So possibly at 3,000, around the 3,000 mark, I would start layering in. I would have a tight stop. If I wanted to scalp this, I would have a tight stop at 2,900. Solana, same thing. So I posted onto the newsletter. Can we get the newsletter on top, please, on the featured links? We do have an awesome newsletter. And in the newsletter I posted that I would start layering in on Solana below 163, so that would be what I would be looking at. Down here at 162 would be like my major buys, but all below 164 is a buy. BNB, I think you can get much better deals than BNB, to be honest. I like BNB and I love Binance and all that, but I think you can get much better deals there. Doge, look here. I've been waiting for the 50% retrace. It didn't come, so now I have to pay more for that. Yeah, here the 50% came back and it bounced, so I would actually just consider this, like, or start layering and the stop loss down here at 15.9, or just let Doge go, to be honest. Sui is just insane, hey? So Sui is a beast. Very difficult to get an entry. Start layering in. I don't think it drops below 3.4, so that's what you can look at. AVAX could be interesting down here at 20.9. I actually might set up something here in AVAX. I might set up a bot here. It's coming into a massive supply zone. Yeah, it's coming into a massive supply zone, so I would want to wait. If we get a rejection here, though, like the rejection can come all the way down here. So I would definitely go heavy in on AVAX at like $20 mark. But let me take some of your coins, because I think it's important that you get what you came for. Near, let's go Near. Near is incredible as well. So they are building some very cool stuff. If my internet would work. Let's go. So yeah, Near has a beautiful V-shaped recovery here. Look at this. 4 hour, comes back 50 and then just continues its way up. It's coming into a supply zone here. If we get, or when we get a retrace back here, I think that's incredible. Buying opportunity. 2.55. Stop loss down below 2.39, or can you start layering in? I might set up a bot on this as well. Let's go Popcats. Let's look at Popcats. Yes, I would be waiting for this. I mean, I would buy Popcat at 0.34. 0.34. I had a bot running on this, but I closed it. 0.34. 0.34. Yeah, I mean, if we come back 0.34, it would be absolutely incredible. This would be a great buy. It is coming into supply. A lot of the tokens are coming into supply, so we can see a little bit of a pullback here on everything. But then the next leg, I do believe, is outperformance on alt side. Grass. Let's look at Grass. Beautiful. I think grass is beautiful. It's a beautiful chart. Stop loss, I would put my stop loss down here below $1, and it has a way to go. And Grass has an incredible product. I like Grass. So we're looking at a 7% pump here. Layering in even now makes sense. Stop loss down below here is 20% stop loss, but that's what you're dealing with. Brett. So we're saying everyone wants Link, so let's do Link first. Link is great. Look at this. Like I always tell, so if you do not know, again, if you do not follow whatever that might be, I have a trading channel. and I share with you all my thoughts, like literally everything that I do. We do have like token analysis almost every second day. Now again, I have been a little bit upset the past weeks. I've been traveling and all that, and it's summer, but from next week, it's literally every day we're gonna push out content here. So if you want to learn more about trading, or if you just want to get my token analysis, this is what we're gonna do. Because it's going to pin it here in the live chat, it's gonna be up here, but also you have it down in the description. It's called the 100x Club. You can also search it on YouTube, and then I give you all these analysis. But on there, I've been saying and I've been teaching you that anytime you see a V-shaped recovery on any time frame, so you see here 4 hour, this is a beautiful V-shaped recovery. My goal is not to give you fish. My goal is to teach you how to fish. So if you look here, if you see a V-shaped recovery, you have two ways of playing it. You have to start getting 50% in on your money, and it starts running up. If you have simply just followed this structure, you would have made about 20% on this token. But also you're waiting for a 50% retrace. If that doesn't come, you want to wait for it to come, and that probably will come back down to the 13.7. But the reason why, because of the parabolic run, I believe this should hold, is because of the parabolic bull. So I do believe that we are going to come down here, potentially 15.47. This is a great area. You can start layering in. We might have to set up something for this as well, a bot for this as well, so it starts layering in and helping. Yeah, I hope this helped. We are, coming to the 30-minute mark. I hope this helped, guys. I am going to drop much more charts on X, but also, again, come to the trading channel, subscribe here. I'm going to bring you off of throughout the week, and then Ren is back. But also, I want you to come and join the Telegram. Like, it's literally the place to be. It's completely free. There's a link in the description. This is my private Telegram. I share my thoughts, my analysis, everything that I do for free. You can get access to it. Cuz will pin it, but also you will see it down in the description. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I truly appreciate you. Make sure that you're on the right side, not on the dark side. Make sure that you don't gamble your money on shit when this is the time to start pulling. Also, don't over leverage. Make sure you protect yourself. I'll be back here tomorrow. We're going to discuss what to buy, what to sell. We might even just do a trading show. Thank you so much for watching. Check out these two videos. One of them is going to be a how to trade video from the 100x Club. Go and check that out. Click here to subscribe to the channel. Check out the socials in the description. And I believe I'll see you tomorrow in the next one. Take care.